हेलो गाइस, हाउ आर यू? सो आप लोग सभी 6 types of market days or 6 types of day trading setups, it is quite very useful in our intraday trading. Okay, so आज हमने क्या देखा? आज हमने ट्रेंडिंग डे और टिपिकल डे दोनों ही विद इन वन सिंगल डे हमने देख लिया है. बट ओवरऑल अगर मैं कुछ कहना चाहूँ तो दिस इज नथिंग बट टिपिकल डे. यस, इट ऑल्सो अ ट्रेंडिंग डे. Okay, if you analyze the wall structure for the whole day, yes, it is the trending day. But what about here in the morning itself? Do you know that this day is going to be trending? No. So in the morning, by looking at this up movement, this is the typical day. This is the typical day. Then sideways. Okay. Then it took support at the 20 EMA in 5 minutes, and then again rised. Okay, so by looking at the wall rally after this movement, after 12 p.m., so this is the trending day, but up to this is the typical day. But I have told you one thing in the typical day video. typical day के वीडियो में मैंने एक बात कही हुई है. टिपिकल डे में आपको आफ्टर इनिशियल बैलेंस फॉर्मेशन कुछ भी ट्रेडिंग नहीं करना है. देयर विल बी sideways movement here and there, and also I have told you about how to draw the sideways movement range that we will discuss here. But there were one more thing. Okay, एक और बात भी मैंने कही हुई थी in typical day video, and that's about the chart pattern. If you are getting some chart pattern on the typical day, then you can take a trade. Okay, then you can take a trade. That's it. Okay, so without wasting time, let's discuss what happened in the morning. As whoever participated in my training sessions, they all knows about this two session relationship and all those such things. Okay, so this is nothing but in the early morning, and yesterday also, and similar, I have told you about two session relationship, that this is this. So on this day, in the early morning, I have said that if market goes below this S3, then the previous uptrend is got arrested or is over. We will see some sideways movement or the downfall. But what market did in the early morning? Opening is here. Market made low and immediately reverse. And if you notice the fall over here, the bottom, or say the lower shadow, lower wick, the price movement is not very significant on the downside. That's why in the early morning itself, I also look for the put buying. Okay, but I didn't buy any put over here. Why? Because I was not so much of convinced by looking at the price movement here. Price movement on the downside was slow, and immediately market reversed. So itself suggesting that the market is not going to go below this level. Plus, what are other confluences? On the 15-minute time frame, on the right hand side, 50 EMA. This is the best setup. Okay, trend continuation based on the two session relationship, EMA, and all those price action things which I am talking about in my training session. So here market took support. That's it. Market took support and zoomed out. Okay, and zoomed out. So you can definitely take a trade at here after the previous day closing, after the crossing of previous day closing. Or if you want some safer entries, then wait. That's it. Okay, but in my view, you should enter above this CPR and above this R3. Stop loss below this bottom CPR, or say this 20 EMA. That's it. These are the range is of confluence. So below CPR is your stop loss, and there is no stop loss here. Okay, market zooms out on the higher side, and higher side. Look at the price action at the different levels. Okay, of the Cambrilla. Here we have DPZ. Okay, then this is the magical R5, at which market stops for some time. Then again market resumes on the higher side. So let me first discuss about this at the initial about the initial balance. So what is the initial balance? The high and low of first 1 hour, high and low. Okay, so this is the initial balance. But can I consider this or this? Which should I consider for the initial balance high? Should I extend to this level or keep this? In my view, this is the initial balance high of the 10-10. Why? Because there is fall. There is some pullback on the lower side of roughly 70 points or so. So I should consider this as the initial balance high, this as a initial balance low. The initial balance is quite very wide. And structure is also like a typical day. Kindly forget about this up rally, huh? You are not knowing during the live market that this up rally will have to be there. Okay, आपको ये नहीं मालूम कि कुछ अप ट्रेंड अप मूवमेंट आएगी. Okay, when market is here, what you have is the wide initial balance movement like typical day. That's it. Okay, now I have taught you about the initial balance typical days sideways range. So from the initial balance high, this is the high, how much? 63.5. So below this initial balance high, 63 point, this is the 63 point or so. But what we have on the chart? On the chart, we have one base candle. We have this base candle. Market made low and then again rise. So in this up rally, market made one low, and from here again demand comes and market zooms up. So this is the level we should consider, not the 63. We should extend this level to the lower side to this low. Okay, so let me first draw this sideways movement range, okay, of the typical day. So this is the sideways movement range. Let me change this color to this, send to the back. So this is the sideways movement. What is the demand zone? This is the demand zone. From this high to this low, this is the demand zone. Let me change this color also. Okay, so here we have. Now what happened? And on the typical day, when market goes up or down after the initial balance formation, it is thumb rule that market will come to the initial balance high or initial balance low. Okay, most of the time, more than 90% or say 95%, market comes to the initial balance level. So after making this high, market comes to this level. But what we have? Too many of base candle here and there. And when market again starting to go up, what happened here at this level? At this level, जब market यहाँ पर trade कर रहा था, there were no movement. There were no movements. Very little movements, sideways type. Okay, so market couldn't supported here and falls here. Now market took support here. Yes, now this is the sideways movement. The talk about the typical day is over. The talk about typical day is over. Now the second part. On the typical day, if you are observing any chart pattern, on the typical day, if you are observing any chart pattern, then you have to buy. Then you should go for the trade. Okay, so when market is forming, this is the low and this is the low. So we have one trend line like this. We have one trend line like this. Okay, what next? We have one trend line like this also. From this high to this high, Let me draw. Okay, what another thing? This high to this opening. Why this opening only? Because here we have 15-minute EMA. Okay, also one more thing is there, weekly S4, sorry, weekly R4. Okay, so this is the area of confluence. So from this to this we have this. What it looks like? Is it flag? It is rising channel. We have one pole. Okay, but in general flag and pole structure, the flag is quite on the downside, falling channel. This is rising channel, but you must have to use your intelligence as well. Multiple time frame analysis is most important. So now you must have to say something. What we have now? This is trend line, and I can modify this trend line like this. Why? Because there is the week. We have one week over here, so I can include that week in my trend line. That's it. So this is the modification. This is the modification. So what we have now? White of wedge, or whatever you want to continue, whatever you want to say. Say for example, a wedge, or say ascending triangle. Whatever you want to tell. Okay. So what's the target now? If you consider this as a wedge, this is the target, or say flag and pole, whatever you want to say, roughly 480 or like that. Okay, so from the breakout point, where is that target? That target is at 467 or so, 466 or so, 37,000. Sorry, if not for 37,267 or 266 like. So in the Telegram channel, I have told you that my target is of 37,200 to the 37,300. This is the area that I want. This is the target, and market also confirmed the target, made high of 209. Okay, not the 201. It nots on the chart. Okay, Zerodha missed this, but the high is of 209. Just stick in my area. That's it. That's my target. Target achieved. What else we have? What else we have? This black line is nothing but the swing high. The swing high, or say supply zone, whatever. So in the morning itself, I have told everything in my Telegram channel. Okay, so I also told you that this is the supply zone. If market cross this level very well, then we might see some big movement, or say some up movement here. Okay, if you want to take a trade, then you can, or otherwise, in my words, this is not my area to trade. This is not my area to trade. That's it. Okay, if you want to take a trade, then you must go for the trade, otherwise not. Okay, आज मेरा ट्रेनिंग सेशन मेरा कल खत्म हुआ था of 5 days of this month. So in the morning I have made some profit, very nice profit, and then in over here in this period I have told that I have some work, so I am not looking at the market now. But market formed this type of pattern and gives the breakout on the higher side and moves higher, higher and higher. So this is the typical day, not the trending day. Don't be confused. What is happening most of the time, that is correct. Okay, the most of the time market moves sideways after the typical day movement. Okay, but this is only one exception, that if we have any chart pattern in the typical day, then we must go for the trade. Yes, it's your choice whether you have to trade or not, but in general market respects the chart pattern on typical day. Okay, so hope you guys understand this very well. And one more thing is pending. What is this? This is monthly R5. This is monthly R4, this pink line. Market zoomed from this. All this two session relationship, this EMA setup, the best setup, okay, all those setup told that market is continuing the uptrend. Now, kindly look for this movement over here. This is weekly R5. When market comes to this level, it reacts. It reacts. That's it. At this point, the 20 EMA, yes, the EMAs will tell you about the trend. EMAs will tell you about the trend. So you can definitely go for the trend. That's it. Now, one more confusion over here, that is whether you should go for this trade or not. After this trend line, let's say market is here, you have this 2 point and you have drawn this one trend line over here. You have drawn one trend line like this also, like channel. You have one this horizontal line as well. Okay, what about this breakdown on the lower side? But if you remember, if you watch this in live market, this is quite very fast, very fast. Market opens at here on this candle, suddenly zooms up on the higher side. That's it. So you should not go for the downside. That's it. What is this movement? This movement is to confuse the novice trader, the small traders, to go for the put buying, to go for the short, and suddenly their stop loss got hit above this high, and we have very nice up movement from here once. Okay, so overall, which type of day is this? Overall, this is nothing but typical day. Okay, typical day in which we have one chart pattern. Okay, in typical day we have one chart pattern. That's it. So kindly like this video, share this video, and do subscribe to this channel. And also, if you haven't joined my Telegram channel, kindly join my Telegram channel. Link will be in the description. Okay, if you are not able to open that link, kindly just WhatsApp me, so I will share the link and you can join it. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video.